I saw a wonderful video by Dr. Berry going over PCOS, which is Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome. You know if you have it. And I thought I would expand a little bit on it. It was an excellent video. He has, I believe, a 4-part series on it. But I want to go over what has improved with me doing carnivore diet, losing weight, and how it's improved my PCOS. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I love hearing from you guys. If you have questions, remember, just throw them in the comments. If I don't answer them there, then I'll answer them in the next Q&A. I have had problems with my period, my cycle, from forever. I was 16 when I first got my cycle, and that was kind of what triggered to see a gynecologist and get the diagnosis of PCOS. I have or had heavy bleeding, abnormal cycles, excessive cramps, acne, like bad, even in my late 20s from when my cycle would happen. I had lots of hair growth to the point where it could actually be considered like a boy's puberty beard. And mood swings like nobody's business. Scott can attest to that. He didn't know what a real woman was until he had to deal with me on my cycle. So I started carnivore about 6 months or so ago. I didn't really think too much about the PCOS changes. I more was focusing on the weight loss, my diabetes, by which I have to tell you, I am no longer type 2 diabetic. If you did not know, most of you probably do. Anywho, my first few months, I didn't notice anything different. I just kind of trucked on with the diet, did what I did, started to increase my activity, all this fun stuff. And about 2 months in, I had the period from hell. I had almost 60 days consecutive of having a cycle. My period did not stop for 60 days. I was really worried about it, but I did a little bit of research. It's never happened before, and sometimes stress, drastic changes, things like that can really affect the cycle. So I just kind of wrote it out. About 60 days in, so 4 months, it stopped. Then after that, it got so regular. I have my cycle every 3.5 weeks. It lasts for 6 days, spot on. My bleeding slowly got less and less and less. The cramps got a little less each time it happened. And so it's been 3 periods since I had that really, really long one. And I will say for this cycle, I actually didn't know I'd started my period. I had no cramps. The bleeding is less than, I'd say, half of what it has been. And we're talking, I used to have to use those, I called them Big Bertha. I'm sorry if your name is Bertha. But the ultra large tampons, I would have to change those at least every 2 hours, on top of having to use a overnight pad all the time for the first 3 to 4 days because I was bleeding so much. And now I just have to use a super at night, and I can use regulars during the day, and I don't have to wear a pad anymore. It has helped more than I can ever imagine. And something that's been a little slower noticing is the hair growth is at least half of what it was. And it seems like every time my cycle comes, it's a little bit less and a little bit less. Also, as far as the acne, my skin is so clear. I got a microscopic, tiny little one my last cycle, but my face has absolutely cleared up. I don't have any of that hormonal acne really anymore. I'll be excited in another 6 months to see what it looks like if I get even a tiny little one. So that'll be really interesting to see. So I've had huge improvements with bleeding a lot less, cramping a lot less mood swings, almost no acne from it. The pain, like the abdominal pain, is gone. And I didn't mention this, but I forgot to earlier. I actually had a cyst the size of a cantaloupe, I believe, that engulfed my left ovary when I was 18 and I had to have it removed. So we're not just talking uneventful PCOS. So I only actually have one ovary now. So trying to improve my health and take care of it is really, really important to me. Here's Dr. Berry's take on how a low carb, keto, carnivore diet can help with PCOS.
If the root cause of PCOS is hyperinsulinemia, then the way you correct that is to eat a diet that's very, very low in carbohydrates. This is going to allow your insulin level to return back to low normal. And when that happens, your testosterone levels and your DHEA levels and the levels of your other hormones start to return to normal. Now, this is not going to be overnight. This is going to take weeks to months for this to happen, and then also for all the symptoms that you may have been suffering with for years to start to reverse and to slowly improve. But I promise you it's worth the effort and it's worth the wait.
I hope you got some benefit out of this. I can tell you every time I do a video, I learn more about myself. I learn more just in general. And if you are out there suffering with this, no, you're not alone. It is kind of like a silent struggle, I think, that women go through. Our cycles are already a pain in the butt anyways, but then you add things like this on top of it, and it just makes it so much more difficult. There is always the light at the end of the tunnel, and I have found huge improvements with this. Maybe carnivore is not for you, maybe just low carb keto will work. Whatever's gonna work best for you, I say do it. And as Dr. Berry said, having these conversations with your physician is really important to get informed and get their opinion. Anyways, I appreciate all of you guys so much for taking the time to listen and encourage me on my journey. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Yeah, scratch the hip. Oh, that got bony, honey. Oh, okay. Let's start over. Please don't forget to like, comment. Please don't forget. I had... Good Lord, more stuff to cut out. I got a microscopic little itty bitty. I almost said titty.
I got a microscopic itty titty on my nose.